Yeah, I would have had to quit on this one. I Schultz. Somebody said in my comments he's giving Gordon Ramsay's brother.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer, a screamer.
What is going on, entertainers? So today I'm coming to you guys with another recap of Special Forces, the world's hardest task. Before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and let me know what y'all thought about this episode, okay? First of all, if this is anything what it's like to be in the military, because I feel like this challenge to me would have been the hardest because I don't like being in constrained spaces. And that's a lot of what they were in. They were in constrained spaces for like a long period of time. Okay, so the voiceover guy, I forgot to mention the guy who's just like, so today's mission, they're going to do this. It gives me 1,000 Ways to Die. If you guys remember that show, 1,000 Ways to Die on I think it aired on Spike TV. That was my show. So it's giving very much that, like the voiceover dude. And the first person who quit by the top of the episode was Lynn Spears. She was not having it. She missed her kids. Yeah, I know how she talked about how her kids almost, unalived themselves in the pool of river water that they were in. So Sister Girl just decided to dip, and she wasn't having it. A lot of people in my comments were not here for her. Like, the whole Britney Spears, Jamie Lynn thing, I'm not too keen on it. So y'all are gonna be the ones that have to really let me know, because it's like foreign to me. I know a little bit of it. I know that Jamie Lynn is like sort of in control of Britney's finances or something like that. But like I said, I'm not too keen on it. Those are not the type of people I cover. I'm not just saying I don't cover white people, because I actually do cover a lot of white people, but like not those type of white people. I'm just saying, like, I don't really know a lot about it, but I see a lot of people in my comments are like, oh, I don't like Jamie because of this. Screw Jamie. Nobody likes Jamie. Jamie this, Jamie that. I said, oh, okay. She's hated. Okay, so Mel B, you guys, gets really emotional because her and Jamie were really close in the house. I said in the house, in the camp, in the count, in the what is it? the bungalows. They're very, very close. So she got really emotional that she left because she felt like, wow, that's like somebody I'm losing. So after that, they call Mel B into the chambers. Okay, so they put the thing over her head, they grab her, and they put her into the chambers with staff. So staff is basically asking her, why do you get so emotional? Like, what's wrong with you? Why do you get in such an emotional state? Like, what's up? And then she basically started talking about her past relationship, her, husband that she was dating back in the heyday. That, mind you, that husband that's probably watching, I'm low-key scared for her safety because she's really putting it all out there, okay? Like, she's really telling us, like, all of the type of details that, like, we didn't really know, and said that, like, she was getting verbally and physically, like, attacked all the time. So she said that's what kind of, like, makes her so emotional all the time. And she says when people are, like, yelling at her and stuff like that, she's not used to it because that's just not what she's used to in her everyday life. So the next challenge, you guys, which is kind of sad because to me, when I used to see her on America's Got Talent and like those X Factor type of shows, I believe it was America's Got Talent, she was always like happy-go-lucky happy. So you would never know that something like that is going on like in the background of her life. So this challenge is they have to get in a car and go down in a pool of water, just like literally like a pool of water, right? It's given Fear Factor, and they have to have the seatbelt on, right? And they have to hold their breath for 15 seconds. So they're under the water in the car for 15 seconds. And I'm like, yeah, I would have had to quit on this one. I hate being stuck in confined spaces. Like, oh, I couldn't have did it. So the first person who goes ends up lasting 15 seconds. It actually was 20 seconds they had to last, not 15 seconds. Do they actually really do all this in the military? I have a homeboy that went to the military and served and everything like that, and he's home. And I asked him, I said, hey, like, is this accurate? Like, I sent him the link to the episode because I want to know from somebody who's been in, like, are some of the methods that they have them do, are they actually true? Like, do they have the number on their wristband? Do they rip off the number and give it to them when they want to, like, quit and unlist themselves? Like, how does that all work? Because I'm foreign to it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just ignorant to it. Okay, so Mel B goes next, and she asked the question that I asked. She said, "Do I breathe?" She was like, "Do I breathe through my mouth or do I breathe through my nose? Like, what do I breathe through?" And the British guy was just like, "What kind of dumb question is that? Get in the car." I was like, that would have been the same thing I would have asked. Like, that would have been the same thing I would have asked. Like, hello, what do you like? Especially for somebody who's not underwater a lot. I would have had a lot of questions. Like, what if I panic and I just don't move? What if I freeze? Is the guy in the Aquanet gonna come and save me? Like, what's going on? I would have had questions too. So we during this episode, I didn't even notice Gus Kenworthy. I noticed him from RuPaul's Drag Race. Y'all know him from like the sports that he does, but I know him from RuPaul's Drag Race. So I was like, oh, there go Gus Kenworthy. He was being kitty clicking. She was being very catty in this episode, you guys. So, Nastia, I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I already know. Nastia. Nastia. Child, her name is like Nastia. We just gonna call her that. So Nastia goes and she's just panicking. So she just doesn't even want to go at all because she feels like she can't hold her breath underwater for a long period of time. So she's just like standing there. She's panicking. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like panicking. So Gus and them are like, oh no, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But the way she was doing it, it's like she was doing it for attention low key. Like when I was looking at the episode again, because I watched it twice just to like give y'all a good review, it felt like she was trying to get like victim points and just attention. That's what it was coming across as, and it was getting a little annoying. She was just like, it's fine, like, I'm fine, like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like she was acting like she was underwater. She didn't even get in the water yet. Like, girl, relax, okay? But I get it, though. I would have had the same reaction, because underwater, and it is not feeling what I am feeling. I just couldn't do it. Like, it's crazy. So she ends up doing it, but she was panicking so hard and she didn't know how long she could hold her breath. They even held her nose and had her practice that they had her and the Navy SEAL guy do it together. They had both of them get in the car and do it together. Mind you, when you're doing this challenge, it's like you're doing it by yourself. So a lot of the cast members, they felt some type of way because Nastia was doing it with somebody that could help her. So she ended up doing it or whatever. And Gus is already mad. Okay, he's in his feelings about it. Like, he was not having it. So the moment she got back out of the water and stuff and dried, he was like, oh, I have to use the bathroom and stuff. And then she was just like, well, you know, they told you to use the bathroom like 3 hours ago. Then he was like, yeah, but I didn't know you were going to take that long. You know, you delayed us an extra hour. Yeah, you did. And then she was just like, well, that's so unnecessary. Wow. Okay, which I'm like, that is kind of unnecessary. Like, he was being very catty during this episode, and it was kind of like unwarranted. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, dude, did you know the girl previously that you had that pressure, that beef with her? But y'all gotta understand, they're in a high pressure situation. They're very stressed out. So that's why I feel like both of them were acting that way. But I just didn't like how Nastasia was acting the way that she was, because it seemed like she was trying to get sympathy, and I didn't like that. So after that, they call out who failed, and who failed out of the group. So they didn't call out Nastasia, though, even though technically she failed because she didn't do it by herself. So Gus was like, so everybody you pointed out failed or what? And then the British guy was like, what kind of dumb question is that? You keep asking these dumb questions. Push down and give me 50 push-ups. You do. You're going to give me 50 push-ups. Somebody said in my comments he's giving Gordon Ramsay's brother. I was like, yes. They need to have him come and do his episode of Hell's Kitchen, or Gordon Ramsay need to pop up and do and come on there and do a little appearance, because they do look alike. They do look alike, 1 and 2. Of course, both of them are British. So it's kind of funny. So he's doing the push-ups, and he's mad. And they go back to their cot or whatever. So Gus and Nastasia get into it because Gus tries to apologize. Mind you, this is while all they're using the bathroom. Okay, they're peeing, okay, or letting things go. And then Gus is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for like how I treated you." And Nastia was like, "No, it's fine. I'm gonna leave anyway. It's like, it's okay. I just can't do this. I'm gonna leave." So she already just wants to dip. She want to be out of there, right? So she ends up leaving. She's like, "It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine." Like, they end up getting in an argument. She ends up leaving. Takes the number in her wristband, gives it to staff, which most of the cast kind of seemed a little happy that she left, because it didn't seem like a lot of them were too much here for her being